New Hampshire, known for its stunning landscapes, friendly small towns, and live free or die spirit. Oh, by the way, Dunkin' Donuts. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, before you pack up your bags and move here, there's definitely some things you may want to know about. And as someone who grew up in the Granite State, I want to tell you today why you may want to stay away from living in New Hampshire. But before we do, just let me quickly introduce myself. My name's Cam Avery, and I'm actually a local resident real estate agent with the Avery Realty Group. This channel is all about living in and moving to the great states of New Hampshire and Maine. And so if that's something that you're interested in, definitely hit that subscribe button. And thank you so much for doing so. By the way, you know, we get a lot of flack on our channel. People are like, man, all you guys talk about is the negative, you know? And quite frankly, that's not true. We have a ton of videos on our channel that go into the positives of living in Maine, living in New Hampshire. The problem is you guys don't watch them, right? You're only interested in the negative, and I get it. You know, it's super simple. You Google living in New Hampshire and you realize, okay, well, it's one of the safest places to live. It's one of the most beautiful places to live. It's got incredible schools, right? You don't really need me to tell you why you should live in New Hampshire. What you need is somebody who lives here, who grew up here, who's going to tell you the truth and give you some of the negatives and really maybe potentially why New Hampshire is not for you. And so that's why we do these videos on our channel. I hope you appreciate it. If you do, go ahead, do me a huge favor and just hit that like button. So let's go ahead, let's jump into the video now. Guys, we're out here in Henry Law Park in Dover, New Hampshire, which is just a beautiful park in one of New Hampshire's city areas. But one of the reasons why you may want to stay away from New Hampshire is because there's really no major city. So most residents here end up commuting down to Boston in order for employment and jobs, because Boston is the closest major city. And in New Hampshire, really the closest city that we have is Manchester, but even that city only has a population of 115,000. And so if you're coming from a part of the United States that has a major urban population and you're used to all of the entertainment options, all of the dining options, you know, you may find that New Hampshire is just a little bit too slow pace for you. And so that's one of the reasons that you may want to stay away from New Hampshire. There's no major urban city. However, if that's what you're looking for, New Hampshire's got it. Hey, I want to let you know we actually created a complete relocation guide for Southern Maine and Seacoast, New Hampshire. You can download it totally free just by clicking the link right in the description below. And that brings me into my second point, which is the high cost of living here in New Hampshire. Just another reason why you may want to stay away. So you say, well, Cam, New Hampshire has no sales tax, no income tax. That sounds amazing, right? Well, yeah, it may sound amazing on the surface, but the reality is that property taxes and home prices are sky high. New Hampshire actually has some of the highest property taxes in the entire country, and home prices, well, yeah, they're high. You know, if you're thinking about moving here, specifically in Southern Maine, the reality of the situation is you want to make sure that you talk with your financial advisor and definitely give us a call to make sure that you can afford the cost of living here in New Hampshire. I'm happy to talk more with you about it. All right, guys, we've heard your comments. What about bugs? Why don't they talk about bugs? Let's talk about bugs. All right, you've got three main really annoying bugs. You've got mosquitoes, you've got black flies, and you've got ticks. Now, two of those three are just really annoying, okay? Mosquitoes, they'll bite you, they'll itch. Same with black flies. They're very annoying, but one is particularly dangerous to your health, and that is the tick, which does carry Lyme disease. And so when you go out in the woods, you just want to make sure that you wear bug spray. You want to make sure that you check your legs, check your arms. You know, if you have kids, make sure you check them. But okay, here's my take on it. We don't have crocodiles. There's no crocodiles swimming in this water over here. There's no alligators, okay? There's no grizzly bears here that are out to kill you. We don't have poisonous snakes, okay? So all of the things that you may be coming from are not here. We have bugs that bite you and they itch. And we have ticks that do carry Lyme disease. That is a serious thing. But the reality of the situation is that I think the bugs here are a lot more manageable than a lot of places in other parts of the country. And you can get your yard sprayed. And so if you're not intimidated with pesticides, you can get your yard sprayed for ticks and mosquitoes that takes care of it completely, or even use a natural remedy as well. So there's plenty of options. There you go, guys. We've talked about bugs. Please stop commenting that we need to talk more about bugs. I'm sick of talking about bugs. I grew up here. I'm used to the mosquitoes. It is what it is. It's part of the deal. They're gonna be here. They're not gonna go away just because you decide to move here. I promise you that. And so let's move on. Let's talk about something else, which is something you're gonna love, and that's traffic. So Dover does have the New Hampshire Children's Museum right behind us here, and really, really great place to go for the day with kids. We took our kids there every time we drive by here now. They're like, oh, are we stopping at the museum or we go to the museum? So definitely, if you are in Dover, make sure to check out the New Hampshire Children's Museum right here. Finally, the last reason why you may want to stay away from New Hampshire is because of the traffic. This kind of goes back to our first point when we were talking about how people are commuting down to Boston. And so Route 93 and Route 95 can get really, really backed up during commuting hours and then also rush hour and specifically tourist times. You know, these highways can get really backed up with traffic. Now, caveat, guys, again, if you're coming from California where it takes you an hour to drive 1 mile down the road, this is gonna be nothing. This will not faze you at all. But if you're coming from a more rural area, traffic definitely could be an issue for you. All right, guys, so there you have it. New Hampshire is beautiful, no doubt. I mean, look at these flowers. However, it may just not be for everybody. And if you're interested in what they don't tell you about living in New Hampshire, you want some more info just like this, make sure to watch this video right here.